What's going on, guys, and welcome back everyone to my episode. It's Nenn, and in this episode I want to talk to you guys and give you my tips and share my experience with overtraining. Again, one of my colleagues actually 2 weeks ago just asked me to make another video, so it's my pleasure. Here we go. So overtraining, should you train every day, or like how many days should you train per week, right? Actually, again, there's no correct answer for this, and it all depends on how your schedule look like. Okay, so how it should be flexible for you, that's what actually matters. So starting from the first point, training every day same muscle group is going to lead to fatigue. So keep in mind, like on Monday you train chest, on Tuesday you did chest. Okay, why you did Tuesday chest? Just to basically to enhance some part of your chest, right? Usually I do that. What I do is on Monday I do chest, and then perhaps like 3 days later I do another chest, just to enhance it, right? And you can do that in that way. However, if you want to train like different muscle groups but without resting, like on Monday you did chest and biceps, okay, like two muscle groups for together, because let's say you don't have time. Let's face it, like me for example, I train 4 days a week because I have so many studies, so many projects. So that's why I train 4 days a week, and I rest 1 day in between each day. Like 4 days a week I train chest and biceps, back and triceps, and shoulders and traps, and also legs. But what I do with legs, sometimes I try to mix and combine some type of muscle groups that I feel my weakest point. So I do it in this way, four times a week, two muscle groups. However, during summer I try to split it like 5 to 6 days. So in that case I do like chest on Monday. For example, I do it chest separately, and then biceps and triceps, and then back separately again, and then shoulders separately, legs separately, and then the other 6th day I would do high intensity exercises, and I try to do some push-ups, like one hand standing push-ups and all that. I try to just for strength and for better stability and stamina. Okay, so you can also train like 3 days a week, you can train 4 days a week. You need to know how your schedule look like, and you need to make sure that you can survive. Okay, that's the really important factor that you need to consider while setting your goals. So definitely if you want to train like split and 5 to 6 days a week, that's going to actually help you to see more results, because you're putting more pressure to your muscle groups. But keep in mind, if you go to the gym and train like for example for chest, like 8 to 10 exercises, in that case you're going to lead to fatigue again, because you're putting a lot of damage. Okay, you're putting a lot of intention to one muscle group. I would highly suggest that you train 5 to 6 exercises for each muscle group. For the larger muscle groups, for example for chest, for back, okay, you can do 5 to 6 exercises. On the other hand, for the smaller like biceps, you can do 3 to 4 exercises, but for triceps again 3 to 4. So you can do it this way, and make sure you're having a good strict diet for this. Like you're having good proteins like chicken breast, eggs, and all that, which I will make another separate video on that later. If you're not having strict diet plan, then in that case I would highly recommend you to take dietary supplements, for example BCAAs. And if you don't know what is BCAA and creatine and proteins like whey and casein, make sure you check out my previous videos, which I made a separate video on that, talking about that components and the dietary supplements. It's really important to take this as an account, because BCAA, protein, and all that really play a major role in our lives, because it really helps us for recovery. Last point that I want to bring to you guys is to always rest. And what I mean by rest is to sleep 8 to 9 hours every day, and it really helps you to produce more hormones and to recover again your muscles while you're sleeping. And now to recap my all points, I want to say this again: training every day the same muscle group is going to lead to fatigue. Okay, so keep in mind. So definitely make sure, if you want to train chest, you can do another chest day probably like after 3 days later. In that case you won't damage any of your fiber muscle groups and all that. And it's fine to train 3 to 6 days a week depending again how your schedule look like. If you want to train like very high intensity level of exercises and volume, and if you want to, for example, increase the weights but lower the reps, in that case you can rest at least one day in between each day. Okay, so like 24 hours of rest would certainly give you the opportunity to do more the upcoming days. Okay, so make sure you keep in mind this. The other point is to always have good diet. Training every day like different muscle groups is not going to harm you that much unless if you train the same muscle group every day. So that is it. I hope you like this and I hope you find this video very helpful. If you like it, make sure you click on the thumbs up button and subscribe to my channel, and make sure you share this video with others so they can also know about this health information. So let me guys know what type of other videos would like to see me uploading for the next time. Alright, so see you guys in the next video. Peace.